you guys had a lot of fouls, but is that something where you guys are just being aggressive and take those fouls to keep, stay aggressive as you guys were?
After the first game, I thought we weren't a very physical team. You know, we've got to get better at being physical. You know, beating screens, fighting drives, coming over and taking charges, making strong cuts. You know, that's all part of good basketball and winning basketball against good teams. So we have to continue to improve in those areas. We're going to have some fouls because of our aggression level, but there were a lot of fouls tonight that I thought it was just out of guys being aggressive or trying to do what I asked them to do. So, you know, you could live with some of those.
Jamal left, I think, holding his wrists in the first half there, and Ken Brown came in. I think he was already at the table before, I guess, Jamal left the game. What was it that Ken was able to do to get him more playing time tonight?
You know, just listening. I think there's adjustment. There's an adjustment period for each player, and each guy handles it, you know, differently. And a lot of times, you know, kids are coming from programs where they're a little more freelance, you know, to use that term, you know, loosely, kind of do their own thing. And you know, now we're at a high level where it's not so easy to just go out and play. You got to listen to what we're doing, offensive philosophy, defensive philosophy. You got to stick with it. You got to do it, and you have to handle coaching. I think he's done a good job bouncing back after kind of being in the doghouse a little bit. And the last 3 days he's been excellent, and that's why he got an opportunity to play. He took advantage of it tonight. I was very proud of him.
Do the rebounding numbers stick out to you at all? Do they concern you at all? To get out rebounded?
They do. They do. We're not a good blockout team right now,
yeah.
And that's something we're going to have to really change in a hurry. That can come back and bite you. Part of that is we're pretty athletic. You know, your guys think they can kind of just go get it. Once again, it's a habit that over time you got to create. We're going to have to really concentrate on that the next 6 days. We've got 6 practices before the first game and try to make sure that's not exploited in the first game.
We asked Juan, he said he was nervous Sunday. Didn't seem like he was too nervous today. He was hanging out the rim most of the game. How about you?
If I jumped that high, I'd never be nervous about anything. You know, definitely more comfort level. I think he had higher expectations in the second game than he did of himself in the first game. We watched a little tape. You know, we watched about you know, him having that motor and energy all the time, and I thought he made a big jump, especially defensively. He's so scary looking on the defensive end when he gets down in his stance and he's ready to play, and he just makes things happen. And he has an incredible ability to change the game with his defense and create offense for us. And he could also feed the energy for our team by getting in a stance and doing some things. And, I think he did a great job. I thought Snap was outstanding tonight. I was joking with him before the game about having a double-double, and I told him you could have a double-double in a lot of different ways. You could have 5 steals. In my book, you have 5 steals, 5 rebounds, and 10 points. And he goes out and has, you know, 7 steals, 8 assists, and some points. And then he had an outstanding game. And his willingness to compete and defend for a freshman is something to watch. And I'm excited about the possibilities for him. And I was very happy with his effort tonight.
Is that something that's 2 for 2 really for him defensively? These exhibitions, is that something that just he does, or is that something that you guys maybe try to bring out, or is that something wrong with him?
He comes from a program that you know about that obviously they defend a lot. That aggression level is always at a high level for his high school team. So he does like defending. You don't catch a lot of guys, high school players, that come in with that kind of mentality. So that's a start. But he's a physical guard. I mean, he likes it. He likes it like that. He likes it on the offensive end. He doesn't shy away from contact. He actually has a lot of pride with that in his game, and it shows. You know, it really shows. I mean, he got into passing lanes tonight and created a lot of opportunities for our team. And then he also has really good pace. You know, I think he had 1 turnover tonight. Is that right? Yeah, he's got 1 turnover. He doesn't get himself too out of control. He knows how to feed the post and do things. And if he doesn't have something, he just passes it. You know, very mature game for a freshman.
Obviously, it's early for him, but the offensive game will be something he has to work on, I'm sure. But what kind of
do a little bit of everything. He's got good mid-range game. He obviously attacks the rim really well. I'm very confident he can make threes. And the other day in practice, he hit six straight threes. You know, he's a very confident kid, and I want him to shoot when he's open. I want him to drive when he's being guarded, and continue to use that pace that we talk about.
In terms of him, though, creating offense for you guys defensively, given you mentioned the program that he was from and what they like to do, given maybe what he was comfortable with, is that kind of the role you envisioned for him when you guys went out and started to recruit him once he signed and all of that sort of
Yeah, he's a very durable kid too. You know, he played a lot of minutes. They were up and down all the time at Yates. So, you know, high school setting, you're going up and down all the time. He's ready. He understands how to play defense, and he likes it. Now the offensive stuff, obviously everybody thought he was athletic. I think maybe caught up in that up and down style. You didn't realize how good of a mid-range game he had, how much he could shoot the ball. I mean, I constantly heard coaches ask me, well, can he shoot it? I mean, he can shoot the ball.
Yeah.
There's no question about it. That will evolve him even into a higher level when he works on his range and different things coming off ball screens. But you know, I love his feel, love his approach. He comes to work every day. You know, he has a lot of pride in being physical, and you don't see that a lot for a rookie. And I don't know. I mean, I haven't had a lot of guys that I've been around get 7 steals in a game, and I sure as heck haven't been around a lot of freshmen who go out and get 7 steals. Now this is just an exhibition game, but you know, 2 games in, 7 steals, 8 assists. That's pretty good stuff.
You guys didn't get an assist from either of the quote-unquote point guards. I mean, is that a big deal in terms of what you guys want to do? I mean, do you focus on anything like that?
It is. Well, I wanted those guys really getting the ball moving, and I think they both have ability to get in the lane and create. I think there were a couple times for them tonight they probably could have pulled and kicked at the end of possessions, but to start possessions right now, I want to get the ball moving. We had a tendency to stand around last year with the ball and over dribble, and that's still an issue. We're trying to get out of our system, and so ball movement's more of a key right now than those guys making a play at the end of the clock. I think that's where they're going to get some of their assists. In transition, they're going to get some of their assists, and you know, there were probably a couple that were wrong on the stat sheet that I remember that we could have probably had for those guys, but I think that'll come.
Turnovers have been good first couple of games too. I mean, I know that this isn't Louisville or Memphis or Vanderbilt, but I mean, you got to be pretty pleased with it, especially early.
Pretty good, and I think we're playing within ourselves. You know, not too many guys stepping outside the box and trying too much. You know, that's where you run into a lot of turnover problems. More decisions, more just bad decisions, and you want to limit that. And I think we've been pretty good in that area. The true test will happen on the road next Friday, so hopefully we can keep with that attitude and understand that's going to be really good to us if we take care of the ball. It's a big part of winning.
You said you wanted to see Juan get more people involved. I guess he found Pet and Brandon each for an easy basket, and he sent Brandon to the foul line with another one. I mean, how important is that going to be for him going forward? I guess especially once the secret kind of gets out about what he's able to do.
I think it's key, and I've talked to him a lot about that. I think as teams see, he's got such a great first step, and he can get to the rim, and teams don't want that because he's such a good finisher that I think there's going to be a lot of help defense on him, making him make decisions, making him find that extra pass and make that extra play. I think that's a big part, will be a big part of his game, and we've talked a lot about that. He's a good passer, and Pet is as well. You know, those guys are good interior passes. You saw that tonight some, and that will have to, teams are going to have to kind of pick the poison, so to speak, in terms of who they want to really guard and take away. And a lot of times, teams try to take away your big 2, your big 3, whatever you have, and make other guys make plays. I think that'll be the case with Juan. Nobody wants to give up, rim shots.